You've ever smoked a pork butt? You already know the problem. All that incredible bark, it's only ever on the outside. So before this ever touches the grill, I cut it in half, and that one move more than doubles your bark. And here's how. This is a 4-pound pork butt, and all I've done is split it in half lengthwise. Not cubed, just two thinner pieces. And here's why that matters. Now the prep. And here's where I do something most people skip. This happens 1 to 3 days before the cook, not the day of. Yellow mustard first, about 4 tablespoons. You won't taste it, the vinegar cooks off. It's just a binder so that the rub grips and sticks. It also makes for a very nice bark. This is the rub. A quarter cup of salt, half a cup of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons each of garlic powder, onion powder, smoked paprika, and slap ya mama for that Cajun kick. Just make sure all the big clumps are broken up and that it's well and evenly distributed. Coat every side and get it into the cuts faces too, because those are bark surfaces now. I want to get back to the reason why I made this video. Here's why the bark matters. Bark only forms where the surface meets smoke and heat. Cut it in half and you have almost double the surface. Twice the bark, and because each piece is thinner, it cooks faster too. The trade is honest. You lose a little of that long strand, pull apart texture, because a shorter cook means slightly less collagen breakdown. But what you get is a flavorful and barky in every bite instead of just the edges. For me, that's not even a close call. Now we're going to seal that in an airtight container, wrap it up, get all that rub on there, and then we're going to toss that in the refrigerator for 1 to 3 days. And that bark isn't burning, by the way. It's the Maillard reaction, the same browning chemistry as a seared steak, just stretched over hours. More surface area literally means more of that reaction. Literally 3 days later, pull it from the fridge 30 to 60 minutes before it goes on. Cold meat straight onto the grill cooks unevenly. Pellet grill at 225 to 250. Both halves go on cut side up, so those new surfaces face the smoke head on. Pork butt has nothing to do with the back of the pig. It's actually the upper shoulder. The name goes back to colonial New England, where cheaper cuts got packed into barrels called butts for shipping. And now the hard part of any pork butt, waiting. But this is where the cut pays off again. Thinner pieces means I'm not staring down a 10-hour cook. Probably more like 6. As you'll notice, the sun finally came up. I had an internal temperature of about 160 degrees Fahrenheit, so I'm going to flip that over. This just gives it an opportunity for more direct heat right to both sides. It helps create a better bark, too. Redistributes the moisture in the meat. We're going to check on this every once in a while. I've got a pretty good smoker that can handle getting back up to temp, so I'm not too worried about that. The funny thing about smoking meat is when it stalls out. This literally went from 42 degrees to 160 degrees in 3/4 of the time. Then it only has to go 30 more in 2 hours. Would you look at that? Look at that rich red bark, crusty, smoky. Check that with the temp. You're looking at somewhere between 199 and 203. Look at all that surface area, that bark. That would have been pale, soft interior on a whole butt. I never completely trust the temp probe on my smokers, but this one is super close. I'm always within about 2 to 3 degrees, which is really amazing. Rectech makes a great product, and their internal temp stuff is double wrap it. Butcher paper or foil and rest it in a cooler or wrapped in a towel. 30 minutes minimum, but 2 to 4 hours is better. This is non-negotiable. Cut in early and all the juice runs out on the board instead of staying in the meat where you want it. You will lose just a little bit of texture on your bark because this is going to steam for a little bit, going to continue to cook while it's all wrapped up. But the payoff for the moist, tender meat that this creates is well worth it. After the rest, you can see that this has darkened up, the meat has firmed up. It's just delightful. It smells great. It's warm still, and this is after 3 hours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of slicing and a little bit of shredding. This falls apart really easily, but it's not that long, stringy meat like you're used to seeing. Look at all the juice come out of that when I squish it. I'm basically just hacking that bark. That bark has tightened up on that skin, and it's made it so great. I barely have to do anything, and the knife just moves right through it. This is perfect for sandwiches, on rolls, and you'll see that I'm going to throw some of this on a pizza. This is what I made it for.
Thank you.
I'll stop by later for
Yeah,
pizza.
we'll have a few extra slices. You too. Oh, man.
Anyways, if you're out here buying a pork shoulder or pork butt and you're looking for a great recipe that makes for amazing leftovers and amazing food, this is it. You can see that just shred off, the fat cap there. I'm not even using a knife here. I'm just pulling it apart with a fork and some tongs. And it comes apart relatively easy. All of this is really great. This goes great in tacos and with eggs. There's all kinds of things. Look at the juice just dripping out of that thing. You can see that it held the juice in for the most part and didn't just leak it all out. Now you're going to take what drippings you have and dump those over. That's why I do that parchment paper to make sure I grab that. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day.